Once upon a time, in the village of Harmony Hill, life was far from harmonious. The crops had failed for the third year in a row, leaving the villagers with empty granaries and heavier hearts. Each family worked in isolation, tending their small plots of land, but the land was unforgiving. Disputes over scarce resources only deepened the divide among them. In the center of the village stood an old oak tree, its branches outstretched as if yearning to embrace the villagers. It had seen generations grow, but now it stood as a silent witness to their discord. One day, a traveler named Elias arrived. With a warm smile and kind eyes, he was known for bringing hope wherever he went. He noticed the villagers' discontent and asked what troubled them. When they explained their plight, Elias listened carefully. After a long pause, he said, "What if I told you that together, you have everything you need for a bountiful feast?" The villagers exchanged doubtful glances, but Elias' unwavering confidence sparked curiosity. Elias proposed a village feast unlike any they'd ever had. Each family, he explained, should bring whatever they can spare, no matter how small: vegetables, grains, spices, or even just firewood. Together, we'll make a meal that will fill not just our bellies but our hearts. The idea was met with mixed reactions. Some doubted it would work, while others were excited to try something new. On the day of the feast, the villagers brought their contributions to the old oak tree. The assortment was modest but diverse. For the first time in years, the villagers worked together, chopping vegetables, stirring the pot, and sharing stories. Laughter began to replace the usual silence. Just as the stew began to simmer, the sky darkened, and rain poured down. Panic set in as the villagers tried to save their efforts. Elias, however, rallied them. "Hold the top together. We can protect the fire if we work as one." Despite the chaos, the villagers coordinated their efforts. Some held the top while others added firewood, and the stew continued to bubble. When the rain finally ceased, the villagers served the stew. It was simple but flavorful, infused with the collective effort and care of the entire village. For the first time in years, they shared not just a meal but also a sense of unity and joy. Elias stood and said, "You see, when you work together, even the smallest contributions can create something extraordinary. This feast is proof of your strength as a community. Remember this day whenever times get tough." The villagers cheered, their spirits lifted not just by the food but by the realization that together, they could overcome any challenge. Inspired by the feast, the villagers decided to pool their resources and work as a team. They planted a communal field, shared tools, and supported one another. Over time, their barren land transformed into lush, fertile fields. Harmony Hill became a symbol of what could be achieved through cooperation and trust. Every year, the villagers celebrated the Feast of Unity under the old oak tree. It became a time to remember the power of working together and to honor Elias, the traveler who had changed their lives. The oak tree, once a silent observer of their struggles, now stood as a symbol of their unity and strength. Generations later, the story of the village feast continued to inspire. The children of Harmony Hill grew up learning that when people set aside their differences and work together, they could overcome any hardship. Moral of the story: true strength lies in unity. When we work together and share what we have, even the smallest contributions can create something extraordinary.